stuff like that. It's a seaplane, four props. We only see it once a month. And we saw these 9 planes, little ones. They're dive bombers. Out in there, like maybe like that. Then we watch it, and then we saw them dive down, and we didn't know at the time, but it was Sumai they're diving down. They dived down, then they went up, and then we saw smoke. You do it. We saw smoke coming in of the result of the bombing. So we rushed home, turn on the radio, and the announcer says, Japanese just declared war on the United States and they're bombing Sumai Naval Air Station.
Which Sumai was in Guam?
Yeah, that's where the Marine barracks is and the Naval Air Station. It says, gather all your necessity and go into the jungle. We got all our stuff and everything, but we can't locate our chauffeur. Remember,
you had a chauffeur?
Yeah, we're one of the few people who got a car and chauffeur. And we can't locate him. Pa doesn't drive. He uses chauffeur. So we all took off to the, we just walked. It's probably, 5 miles to the, maybe less, to the outskirts of town, into the jungle. Remember, they don't have too many paved road or anything. Then we went and hid in the jungle for...
Your mom too?
Oh yeah, everybody. My sister Maria, my brother Ken and me.
And
my brother Jesse was at Sumai. That's where they were bombing. He was working there as a mess attendant, working in the kitchen. He was only 14 or 15. Anyway, we were in the jungle for 3 days. Then we hear loudspeakers. You can all come down now, come out of the jungle now. The Japanese already took over Guam. We walked down and we went to, see, we're living in a canyon. We went down to the Plaza de España. That's Plaza of Spain, they call it. It's a big flagpole there. And we saw all those dead Marines and member of the Insular Force, that's the Guamanian who joined the Navy, well, as a, Insular Force, in other words, a force for Guam. Dead and everything.
wasn't your dad in a naval?
Yeah,
in the Navy?
Yeah, but he was retired.
By then he was retired? Oh.
Anyway, we saw all those, and there was only 155 Marines on the island, plus the Insular Force to protect from thousands of Japanese that came in invaders, so they killed practically all of them. But not all 155 Marines were there, because they're up down in Suma and other parts of the island. Anyway, after 3 days, Guam was gone. The Japanese took over. We went back to our home, to our house and everything. Then a few days later, maybe a few weeks later, I can't remember, they start rounding up all Guamanians and Americans and all that who are American citizens and we were American citizens, and throw us in the stock. It's a detention center. And we go there. But every weekend they let us out and go back home and all that.
Did your mom get put in it too?
Everybody. Except Jesse.
Where was Jesse?
They put him somewhere else as a combatant. He was only about 14 or 15 because he was in the military base. Anyway, that's it. That's all I can remember.
So what did they do when you were in the stockade, the camps?
They had used my dad to work in the rice field, and my brother Ken, they used him to. Well, Jesse finally came home. They used Jesse and Ken to work in making runway airfield and all that for the Japanese planes. And my sister Maria, the prettiest in the island, she put mud in her face and make herself look ugly and everything because they were raping women. Well, the Japanese. So they never bother her because she looked haggard.
So what's this about?
So Mom worked in the rice field for a few days and then she couldn't take it anymore, so she didn't work.
Yeah, but didn't they try to force her and your dad stuck up for her?
Oh yeah. They almost kill him.
Yeah, for sticking up for her. And then they respected him because he stood up to them or something?
Yeah, with a bunch of vein in his stomach. He could have killed.
Why did Uncle Jesse get hung by his toes?
Well, Jesse got a job in Japanese headquarters as an orderly, cleaning places, you know.
Yeah.
And they accuse him of stealing radio parts for a guy named Tweet.
Was he?
I don't know. But Tweet is the American Navy radio man who escaped from the concentration camp and formed the Guam guerrillas. And he made he made transmitter and receiver parts from stolen radio parts from the Japanese and contact Hawaii and San Francisco. So they accused Jesse of stealing radio parts. And they took him and hung him by his thumb like this, hanging down, turned him over, trying to make him confess. He was about 15. And they hung him by his toe, by his ankle or something, upside down, take a bucket full of water with a towel and try to drown him, like waterboarding. Trying to make him talk. He never did. He never did. And you know, Pa, when he was in the Navy, bring all this goldware, not silverware, goldware from the Orient, and gold plates, and spoon, fork, knives, all gold. And he was bribing. Mom was bribe the jailers and just Japanese officials trying to get Jesse out. So they got everything, my mom's worldly goods collection and everything, even the car. And so they let Jesse out.
Do you have anything of your mom and dad's from when you were young? You have nothing?
Whatever we had, Jesse took. Well, we had a few things, but Jesse took everything.
I'm talking about you yourself. You don't have anything?
Nothing.
Wow.
Well, anyway, so that's why when the Marines returned, Jesse volunteered as a scout for the Marines. He lead the Marines, as, you know, to different places in the jungle and everything. And we thought he was killed because there was a rumor that the DeTorres boy was killed by the Japanese as a scout, because that was July 21st when the Marine returned to Guam. And the resistance, the Japanese resistance, didn't end till about August 9 or 10. A month later. And not quite a month. But the rumors were out, hey, somebody killed the DeTorres boy. And Mom thought we lost him. Oh, about 4 or 5 months later, in the distance, like from here to that building over there,
Yeah.
we see a figure walking toward where we're at. We were living in a bombed-out shelter, a brick building, an old bombed-out, no roof, no nothing. Mom saw this figure coming toward us. And she started crying. She knows immediately. She said, that's my son. That's my son. And she started running toward the figure. And sure as hell it was Jesse. With a camouflage dress and all that, with a big old gun and all that. And he was only about 16 or 17.
So did you guys speak English or did you speak Japanese? Or did you speak Chamorro?
I speak all three. English,
when you were young,
Japanese,
when you were growing up, you spoke all three?
Well, I spoke Japanese after the Japanese been there.
Yeah,
but no, we speak nothing but Chamorro and English. Because we do go to school, you know.
Well, the schools, they spoke...
It's English school, honey. It's just
oh, well,
like
I didn't know.
Just like school in the U.S.
Oh. How long did the Japanese, were they there?
December 7, 1941 to July 21st, 1944. Less than 3 years.
And you learned all that Japanese in less than 3 years?
I learned how to speak, write, and read katakana. When I went to Korea, they kept me, so you have to go through Japan. They kept me at Camp Drake in Japan for 3 months.
Why?
Before I went to Korea, so I could be an interpreter.
So why didn't you speak Chamorro or Japanese to us kids growing up so we could learn it?
Because your mother doesn't speak Chamorro.
So were you ever beaten by the Japanese?
All the time.
Yeah? Why?
In school. See, we have a teacher, a woman teacher, Japanese teacher. Boy, is she strict. I get myself slapped by that woman 100 times.
Why? Could you talk?
Yeah, talk back to her.
And you wonder where I get it from.
And
my son Jacob gets it from.
And after she beat me in the face and everything, she had me hold my fingers like this. Beat it with a ruler. But I learned Japanese. That was good. I was probably the most gifted Japanese speaker in school there.
That's awesome. What's your worst memory of that time?
Worst memory? My mother always crying for Jesse and all that. That was the worst. And because I was a baby. And Jesse, when we go someplace, Jesse carried me on his back. We had 16 acres of land above Agate. That's where the water source is for the town of Agate, which my dad deeded to the city, to the town for nothing. Well, he got about $1,500. That's all. That thing must be worth billions of dollars now because it's a source of water. Anyway, that was the worst And when we all came to the States, we have two city block property in Hagen. Quick claim my mother gave to her sister.
Why?
$10.
Why?
I don't know why, honey, but those darn property cost millions now.
Wow.
And she didn't get a nickel out of it. Well, yeah, $10 for a quick claim. And
How many brothers and sisters did your mom have?
she got two brothers,
Who are they?
Ben, Vicente, and
Ben Vicente?
no, Vicente is Ben.
Oh.
The other one is Francisco, Frank.
What's her last name?
Carbolito.
Carbolito?
Yeah. And she's got two brothers and 6 sisters.
And who are they?
Total 9. Carmen, Concepcion, Dolores, that's
Yeah, I met
Esther's mother,
I met her.
and Carmen, I don't know the rest of it.
And then what about your dad? Did he have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, he's got a lot of half-brothers. And he's got one real sister, Philomena. She's blonde, blue eyes, pure Spaniard.
Who's this captain or whatever that you always talk about?
Colonel.
Who is that?
That's my father's real brother. He's a colonel in the Spanish army.
What was his name?
Segundo.
What? Segundo what? DeTorres?
Yeah.
And who's the one that you said was like a ruler of Guam? Big, tall.
That's my grandfather on my mother's side.
What's his name?
Luis Blanco Carbolito. I used to, during the Japanese time, we live up in the hill that Jesse built, but like a house, except it's a hot, it's an A-frame that Jesse built, and that's where we live. And he put a bamboo floor and the whole stuff. Actually, Jesse did everything, because after Pa retired, he farms a little and all that, but he doesn't do any building. Anyway, just about every night, I go down to my grandfather's house, farm, whatever you want to call it, because it's got chickens, it's got banana deal, he's got papayas, all kinds of pineapple, sugar cane in his farm. He's got probably 100 acres of farm. But I go down there to sleep, to stay with them, because they were getting old, and I make some salt for them.
You what?
Salt. I go to the ocean and get buckets of water, and we make sea salt. I made it.
How did you make it?
You boil it and keep boiling and boiling and boiling and boiling until it dries, and there's the salt.
Huh.
And I set traps for the crabs, ground, the ocean crabs and everything. I set traps for that out on the beach.
That's
And
awesome.
the crab comes in. I use bamboo. You got a bamboo, right? You cut one end. You put a deal where they go inside. They can come out and put a hole in the end, so they'll be, Anyway, Joaquin, my brother, and I catch hundreds of crab every morning. I mean, when we go check the crab, the traps, we have hundreds of them.
So you like to eat crab meat?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I cook for them and all that. Anyway, at night when we go to bed, it's my grandmother and grandfather in their bed, and I sleep on the floor I lay on the floor right beside my grandfather's side,
Were you close?
And-
were you the one closest to your grandparents
Yeah, I
out
think
of all
so.
the kids?
I think so. And he'll tell me all these stories about. He was police commissioner for 30 years in Guam, and he's 6'7", big guy. Louis Blanco Carbolita. Everybody in Guam, not only afraid of him, but they respect him. He's like a king. And the Filipinos, they come to Guam to work, you know, work, farm work and road work and all that. And they'll riot with the Guamanian guys. My grandfather will go in there in between the riots, and he's got a, what do you call that? You know, that little...
Like a nightstick?
Yeah, something like that. And he'll hold that, and his towers over everybody. I had some pictures, I wish I have it now. And he'll try to break it up, and then when break it, he'll just go hit him right in the head with that, his fist holding them. And he'll knock them out. Some of them he even kills.
Wow.
I'm telling you. They're not, like I said, not only afraid of him, but they respect him.
Who would you say is your hero? Would you say it was your grandfather, your father, your brother?
My grandfather just is my hero, really. And my grandfather. And I never get spanked by my mother. It's Maria that spanked me. But when I do something, Jesse's, he'll let me and the first cousin named Jesse or Jesus Torres make us hug the dog on the coconut tree and beat us with his bell. and then baby me when it started crying.
Well, you know, you're 10 years younger than Jesse, right?
Yeah, about, let's see. It was
Why
not
does...
No, not 10. He was born in 1925.
And you were born in 31.
Yeah, so it's 6 years.
6 years. Okay. He's older, and he was like, kind of knows a lot more about your family history than you do.
Oh, yeah.
Why does he say we are Filipino too? That Grandma DeTorres was Filipino too? And you always say we're not.
Well,
and when we do our lineage, it shows that we have Filipino in us.
You know, my grandfather's Filipino blood.
Then why do you say that we're not?
Because I don't like Filipinos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you can't tell us that we're not Filipino if we really are, because we want to know what our lineage is.
Okay, we're a little bit Filipino, maybe 1/8.
Yeah. Well, what about you say we have Mexican in us? Why do you say that?
Because this is on my mother's side too. His name is Andre Rodriguez. See, when we had that get together in San Diego, I don't know whether you were there. Yeah, no, Barbie and Dee Dee was there. But we had in 1984 we have this Carbolito reunion in San Diego. They give us a genealogy and everything. And Andre Rodriguez was my mother's side. No, not mother's side. My father's side. He was a whaling captain. They got this big, ship where they go whaling, catching whales. Live in Mexico City. It's a pure-blooded Spanish on my father's side. Oh no, not my father's side. It's my mother's side. And they gave us this genealogy deal, and he was great 6 of them. Great grandfather.
Can I have a copy of that lineage?
I don't have it. I look all over, and I just couldn't find it. But, you know, some of the Carmelitas who were present there probably might still have it.
Why don't you ask?
They all live in San Diego and Los Angeles. I don't know them now, even if I see them. There's only one, and I'm hoping she'll be here. Her name is Josephine Tovis. I don't know what this is. Yeah, she's married. And her name is Josephine Tovis. So in Guam, she's my second cousin. We go out together and go dancing because she's a good dancer. And when we had that reunion in '84, she was telling her kids, this is that she and I always go dancing and everything, and I dance with her there. Same old Josephine. And her brother, Alfred Tovis, lives there too. And I try to contact him because he went back to Guam. Alfred, he never answered me, but we were good friends.
So back when you were young in Guam, what would you say is your best memory? You told me your worst memory was seeing Grandma cry about Jesse. What's your best memory?
Everything. Beating up with those Filipino army guys.
You fought a lot when you were a teenager?
All the time. I can beat anybody. Even policemen who are bigger than me, I can beat anybody.
And why? How did you get so tough? Fighting with your dad? Fighting with your grandfather?
I was just tough.
Who taught you to fight?
I'm always a gang. Oh, taught me to fight with my uncle Ben Vicente Carbolita. He told me, says, don't be afraid of anybody. There's just another person. And if you, says, don't throw the first punch. Let them throw something. Hit you first, but don't get hit. Let them swing, but don't get hit. And then don't be afraid, because if they intimidate you, you're lost. And I've been real tough. I remember though when I was real small in kindergarten. I'll never forget. We live in a place called San Antonio. And this three bullies, I'll never forget, three big bullies were in kindergarten or first grade. They're constantly trying to beat me up. And I was so scared that I was hiding under the school. You know, the school is elevated. I crawled under and I hid there. I was telling Jesse about it. Just what Uncle Ben told you. Don't be afraid. Bullies, you could beat them up. And I did. And I've never been beaten anymore. I mean, I've even beaten my third, fourth cousin named DeTorres. We go to St. Hania and all that. Always looking for fights.
How old were you when you kissed your first girl? Come on, Dad. How old?
I don't know. 14 or 15.
12 or 13?
This girl, her name is, what the hell's her name? Half white. Anderson. Yeah, Anderson. She was the prettiest, almost blonde. Strawberry blonde or dirty blonde. And she wouldn't look at anybody but me. I was pretty good looking when I was young.
You're still pretty good looking, Dad.
No.
You're a hottie.
But, well, I'll tell you a story there. We were boxing. I'd box anybody. Anybody. And this policeman, who was in the Navy for 4 years and got out, he was probably 22. This was in 1948, 47, probably I was 16 or something. And this guy was 22. He was half black, that Romanian guy, in the police force. And I was boxing 3 or 4 people, you know, and still going. So this cop says, why don't I put the glove in box with you? Say, yeah, go ahead. So he put the boxing glove on, and it's right there by the police station. And boom, 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 I was pestering him like, oh God, I was beating his face up. And he pulled the glove off, and he said, I'm gonna knock the shit out of you, because I was beating him. And I didn't know it, but Jesse was around the corner just watching us. And he walked over there, and he says, you lay a hand on my brother, and I'm gonna rough you up something terrible. Jesse said, and he's a dirty fighter. I remember during the Japanese time, people came to our house and knock on the door, and says, your son just got picked up by the Japanese police. So what for? Well, they were in this place where they served drinks, and Jesse wasn't old enough, I don't think. And somebody picked a fight on him, and that's one thing about Jesse. When he's gonna fight, he takes his shoes off, barefooted. And he beat the living hell out of this one guy in gravel. He dragged him to the gravel, and bust his head in gravel, going in and everything, and they pick him up. Mom and Pa went over to the police station, found out that this guy, maybe 5, 6 years older than Jesse, and he started the fight. So they let him out. Jesse's such a dirty fighter, though. They were at their house in Pittsburgh. There, their house.
Yeah.
And they were with a Guam, and they were playing poker and everything. And they saw that guy cheating. One of his compadres. Compadres was like
friend.
Yeah, well, more than friends, Jesse didn't say nothing. He stood up, grabbed one of those dining room chairs, wood chairs, and bust that guy right in the head, broke the chair and everything. And then called the ambulance. And he's rough.
Okay, I'm stopping this.